Hey, what's up everybody? Back again, 30 Case. I am here for Wrestle Cave, the Wrestle Cave podcast, the Wrestle Cave network. You can go on our Facebook down here, Wrestle Cave Podcast, on our Twitter at Wrestle_Cave, on our Instagram at Wrestle Cave, and go find any of our podcasts. They can be found on all podcast networks, including Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, right here on this channel. Hit subscribe if you like these videos. We're live once again. Told you I've been trying to do that for a while now. I'm going to keep trying to do that. So we're back again. We had Impact Slammiversary last night. We're going to be talking about Impact Slammiversary. We're going to be talking about New Japan's East Coast dates that they announced. We're going to be talking about a new match added to Fight for the Fallen that is this weekend. And we're going to preview Monday Night Raw for tonight. So that's all on board for today. Once again, 1 minute in. I try to keep it to a minute, so let's hop into it. Kicking off Slammiversary, let me just say, pretty damn good show. If you guys don't watch Impact, you should get on it. Again, they delivered a great show last night. The women really showed out. The Monsters Ball match was really, really good. Tessa and Sammy in the intergender main event was really good. Big Mike, Michael Elgin, and Brian Cage was awesome. Johnny Impact versus Rich Swann. So let's break it down. Pretty much this whole card was solid from top to bottom. First match, we had TJP. He took on, in a fatal four-way match, we had TJP, one of the Chris brothers from OVE. We had Willie Mack, and we had Trey Miguel from the Rascals. So this match, there was a lot of weird things, a lot of cool moves that happened. I know at one point TJ had two submissions on somebody at the same time, and then Willie Mack just kind of came behind and booted him right in the face. Later on, though, we had TJP had Trey Miguel up in a surfboard, so there was a lot of room right here, and TJP was flat on his back, so Chris came right underneath and tried to go for the pin. Willie Mack came off the top and broke up the pin with a double stomp, so that spot was awesome. Really, really good stuff there. So you should definitely check that out. What else do we have? There was so TJP had I think Chris in a leg lock, and then he had Willie Mack in a DDT position. So he's like this, and then Trey Miguel just comes out of nowhere and just boom delivers a neck breaker. So he DDTs the guy. Gets a neck breaker at the same time. So there were a lot of spots like that where guys were tied up with other guys, and a lot of like double, triple moves happened at the same time. Trey hit a Meteora while TJP had one of the Chris brothers in a heel hook, which was pretty nice. Again, another one of those double moves that are going on at the same time. So in the end, Chris would hit a super cutter on Trey, and then Willie Mack would come out of nowhere, hit a frog splash on Chris, and Willie Mack would be your winner for that one. Really solid match. Willie Mack, if you don't know, former NWA national champion, former champion, I believe he's the X-Division champion. He's really coming up in the world of professional wrestling. If you don't already know, he's been on Lucha Underground. That's where I first saw him, like in the first season of Lucha Underground. Willie Mack's awesome. If you don't watch Impact, you gotta get on it. Like really. They really delivered tonight, so it was really solid to see that. Next up, we had a tag team match, the tag team championship match. It was a three-way dance. We had LAX taking on the North were the champions going in. We had Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, and the Rascals of Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier. That's it. There's so many names to keep up with here. But again, a solid match. The Rascals did a lot of tandem offense. Desmond Xavier really showed off in this match. Josh Alexander hit a moonsault while he was holding somebody and did like the backflip, kind of like Bandito does, off the top rope. That was awesome. Santana unfortunately got hurt in this matchup. Conan had to legitimately call medical attention out for that, so that's scary to see because LAX is one of the top tag teams in the entire world, not just in Impact. They are one of the top tag teams in the entire world. So that was kind of scary to see that happen. But what else happened? There was a power bomb. The North power bombed one of the Rascals onto a cover that was being made after they did like their push moonsault. So what they do is the Rascals, one of them will be standing here ready to do the moonsault, the other one will be right next to him. He does the moonsault, he pushes them because the opponent will be over there, and he lands on them perfectly. And that's what they did. That's their kind of finisher they do, the Rascals. But the North came in and powerbombed the other member onto him for the 1, 2, 3, and the North retained their tag team championship match. Next, we had a first blood match between Killer Kross and Eddie Edwards, and holy shit, this was pretty intense. Sorry, Killer Kross came out with all this makeup on, and he had a priest collar, so he was like ready to go. He was really intense throughout this matchup. Eddie Edwards came out just ready to go, like ran right in the ring, went right up Killer Kross. Yeah, this got pretty intense throughout. Killer Kross threw a chair at Eddie while Eddie was going for a suicide dive. Killer Kross had a nice gut wrench from the apron and threw Eddie onto the floor without even hurting himself. That was pretty impressive. Eddie hit a tiger driver on the outside. In the end, Eddie was going to hit Killer Kross with Kenny, the kendo stick, but he ended up just breaking it over his legs and shoving it into Killer Kross's mouth to draw first blood in this one. And Eddie Edwards was your winner. He was victorious. So if you go back to my predictions, I'm over 2. I picked Killer Kross, and then I also picked LAX to pick up the victory. So I'm over 2 thus far, but I did a little bit better as we go on. The next match that we got for tonight was Moose versus Rob Van Dam. This one was really good again. Rob Van Dam had a weird interview earlier where like he didn't really know what he was saying for a little bit. But then when he came out, he started off, trying to go for the Rolling Thunder. Moose countered that. They had a good back and forth for a little while. Moose hit a couple of his when he does his delayed drop kicks. He hit one of those in the corner. He hit one of those on the outside. Moose missed a frog splash, and then RVD DDT'd him for 2. Moose got a low blow, and then he brought. This was after the ref wasn't looking. Brought a chair in. He grabs it to hit Rob Van Dam with. Rob hit a Van Daminator after the ref kind of grabbed it out of his hand. What else happened in this one? So eventually here at the end here we had RVD setting up Moose onto a chair, and he went up top trying to hit the frog splash. Unfortunately, Moose moved out of the way. Rob just ate that chair, and then when he got up, Moose speared him. 1, 2, 3. So that one I did get right. So Moose was victorious over your boy Rob Van Dam, and Rob's still out there, doing his thing. So good for him. But on this day, unfortunately, he could not get it done against Moose. That was my pick in that one. This next match for me might have stolen the show if we didn't have that main event. Actually, the last 3 matches. But the Knockouts Championship defended in a Monsters Ball match. This was really good. You had Su Yung, you had Taya Valkyrie, you had Rosemary, and you had Jessica Havoc. And each one of these girls really, really brought it. And I'm going to say this, out of all these women in this match, Taya Valkyrie was probably the most hardcore, crazy. I mean, Wera Loca really showed up. Right in the beginning of the match, she had a staple gun. She stapled Su Young's back a couple times, and then she had taken out a picture of herself and stapled that on Su Young's face. And then she took that, crumpled it up, and pushed it right down Su Young's throat. So that was pretty cool. There was another really cool spot where Taya was hanging upside down. So she's just upside down here. Su Yung is on the top rope, and Rosemary suplexes Su Yung. But while she's suplexing Su Yung, Taya kind of comes up and suplexes her. So they all fell on the ladder too, by the way. So that got pretty out of control. Rosemary brought Tax into the ring. Taya stomped Rosemary face first into those taps. It's like she took Rosemary's arms back and just kicked her face, stomped it right into those tags. So it got pretty, like I said, Taya got pretty vicious in this one. As in, right after that, she got up and she planted Rosemary through a table from the apron that was outside. So she went and did that to her. Jessica Havoc, so here's how we got the ending here. So Jessica Havoc took Su Yung, they were up on the top rope, and just tombstoned her right on top of those thumbtacks. And then Taya grabs a chair, smacks Havoc out of the way, pins for the 1, 2, 3, and she steals and retains her Knockouts Women's Championship. And I gotta say, go watch that match. It was really solid from all 4 of those individuals. Like, each one of those girls brought it in this match. And Taya, of all 4, really brought out the crazy. And she really got hardcore in that one. Which I wasn't expecting of all 4 of them in there. I would have expected Su Yung clearly, Jessica Havoc clearly. But you've seen in previous matches with Tessa Blanchard and other people that Taya does have that in her, and she brought it out today, or last night. Next matchup, we had the X Division Championship matchup. Another really, really, really good match. Like, these last 4 matches are the ones, like, you really gotta, if you only got time for a few matches, go watch these last 4 matches. The Knockouts Championship, Monsters Ball, the X Division Championship, the World Championship, and the intergender match. Like, those are the 4 you have to watch. Like, in this one, Johnny Impact versus Rich Swann. Rich Swann is the champion going in. Johnny Bravo is out with Johnny Mundo, or Johnny Impact, as he tends to be. You could pretty much put Johnny in front of anything, and that's what Johnny does do. Like, he hit the Johnny's Edge, which is a cool, he has the Razor's Edge, he's got him up here, and then he, like, spins him, and then it almost looks like the guy is doing DDT to him, but he's actually spearing them as he spins them around. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, if you don't know what's going on, it looks like he's getting DDT'd by the other guy. But he hit that in this match. Early on, Johnny Bravo picked up the thumbtacks from earlier in the match and threw them in the ring to distract the ref, so that kind of let Johnny Impact get the upper hand, and he kind of had control of it for a while at the beginning. What didn't these guys do? Johnny hit a Spanish Fly off the top rope, and then came back, and then they hit a standing Spanish Fly for 2. He hit the Starship Pain. There was so much in this matchup. Rich Swann hit a nice second rope Phoenix Splash at one point, and then in the end he hit a Phoenix Splash off the top rope for the win. So Rich Swann, and before he did hit that Phoenix Splash off the top rope, he hit a really nice, about 10 strikes in a row, punches and kicks, and the last one was this nice real spinning kick where he caught Johnny right in the side of the head. It was a good combination to kind of leave Johnny loopy, and then he was able to capitalize and hit the Phoenix Splash and defend his X Division Championship. So again, another really good matchup to check out from Slammiversary. Like, top to bottom, I'm telling you, this card was really good. The next matchup was, so I did pick that one. I picked Rich Swann to retain. So good for me, right? The next up, the World Championship, Big Mike versus Brian Cage. Another barn burner between these two. So these are 2 of the biggest, and I'm talking biggest in size, biggest in muscle, biggest in strength, heart, you name it. But these guys are also pretty damn quick, as they showed in this matchup. They go right at each other right from the jump, pretty much. Cage hit a flip over the top rope right onto Elgin early on. Big Mike hit a superplex. He missed a twisting senton off the top rope, unfortunately. But he was able, when he got back up, Cage was able to hit him with like a pump handle, like sit down face plant, which was pretty nice. I think we've seen him do that before. Mike had an impressive deadlift power bomb, which was really impressive to pick up a guy of Brian Cage's size and do a deadlift power bomb like that. I was very impressed by that one. Elgin had a lot of strikes and kicks towards the end. Cage hit a buckle bomb. There was a couple. They each hit a buckle bomb on each other towards the end there. Elgin hit a Canadian Destroyer one time, and then the second time he went right at the end here, he went to hit another Canadian Destroyer, but Cage just sat down on it and he picked up the 1, 2, 3. Like, he just said, enough of this. I'm being smart. He sat down. He held the legs 1, 2, 3. Didn't let that extra rotation go on the Canadian Destroyer, and he was very defensive and very smart there, and he picked up the win. After the match, though, Elgin just took the belt, like right after the match, just took the belt and just hit Cage right in the face with it. At this point, he beat up Cage, took out Cage, then he goes to ringside, he grabs Don Callis, he brings Don Callis in the ring, he's about to do the move to Don Callis, and all of a sudden this guy runs in the ring with all black on, black hood. He had a ponytail, but I'm going to tell you, spoiler alert, who I think it is. I think it was Rhino. Just from the way he was down, he was crouched down in the corner, and then when Elgin turned around, he speared him or gored him, if you know all about Rhino, and then he did his little Rhino pose and ran out. Never took the mask off or anything, but Rhino has been in Impact before. It makes sense for him to mix it up with two other big guys like that. I think that was Rhino. You tell me what you think. If you think it wasn't Rhino, I don't know who the hell you think it was, but let me know. So the next match Brian Cage does successfully defend his Impact World Championship. So we have going in all four champions successfully defending their titles tonight. Brian Cage against Michael Elgin. We had the North successfully defend. We had Rich Swann successfully defend, and Taya Valkyrie. All in really good matchups too. So it was really good to see good matchups, and they all deserve to win too because they all had really good showings in their matchups. And then finally, we'll get to your main event, the first ever intergender main event in Impact. Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan. Sami and Tessa have had this little feud that's been going on, and I really like it. It's gotten really intense over the last few weeks. So Tessa comes out in all gold with a gold bat. Sami's out there in his usual all black. But Tessa gets to him early with two suicide dives. On the third one, though, Sami catches her, swings her to the right, swings her to the left into the barricade, and then he picks her up and delivers a nice little slam. Or, I'm sorry, he picked her up, put her on her shoulder, and did a Death Valley Driver. So she really was getting beat up throughout this match, like really getting beat up, because after that he did an apron bomb. Tessa was able to hit a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Like, she would get a couple shots in here or there, but for the most part, Sami really had control outside of that first little flurry of offense from Tessa. Later on, Tessa elbowed the ref because she was just getting really pissed off because she was just beating on Sami Callihan. She was telling him to stop, so she threw the elbow. After the ref was down, Sami grabbed the bat and he hit Tessa with it. Then another ref came out. It was only for a 2. He got pissed off at that ref. What else happened? Oh, Tessa spit on Sami. She low blows Sami, grabs her gold bat and hits Sami with it. She hits the Magnum, which is her top rope. Whenever she hits off the top of the second rope, the code breaker. So that's what she calls it, the Magnum. She got that for a 2. In the end, though, Sami would hit a package pile driver for 2, and it looked really, really, really nasty. A lot of this was really nasty. Tessa really knows how to sell. If you don't know already, she sold her ass off in this match. Sami then hit another pile driver, which that one really looked nasty. But right before that pile driver, Tessa went right in his face, gave him the thumbs up, thumbs down, and he just delivered a pile driver, and he won that matchup. Hell of a freaking match, though. Hell of a freaking match, especially for a intergender match, just for a great match as a pay-per-view main event overall. I mean, you saw so much of what Tessa can do and so much of what Sami provides and why they call him the draw and why Tessa thinks she is deservingly respected as one of the top women's wrestlers in the entire world, not just in Impact, not just in the United States, in the world. And she has proven it over the last 2 years, that's for sure. And I got it longer than that, but especially the last 2 years. She did it again. And Sami, after the match, gave her a little bit of respect, as much respect as you're going to get from Sami Callihan. He picked up her bat and gave it to her, helped her up, and he left. So that's about as much respect as you're going to get from Sami Callihan. That's about it. That's all you're going to get from him. But it was really nice to see that. So just to wrap up on Impact, and then we'll get into some of these other things, the Fight for the Fallen match, New Japan, and Raw tonight. Sammy beats Tessa. Brian Cage successfully defends, and then Elgin takes him out, and then Elgin gets taken out by, we think, Rhino, I'm pretty sure. But it was a masked man. I'm thinking Rhino. Swan defended against Johnny Impact in a great matchup. The last 4 matchups, I told you, they're solid. The Women's Knockout Championship match, Taya successfully defended in a Monsters Ball against 3 other women. The Tag Team Champions, the North, defended their Tag Team Championships in a triple threat. Moose beat RVD, and in a 4-way match, Willie Mack won against TJP, the Chris brothers, or one of the Chris brothers, and the other, and Trey Miguel. So anyway, enough of that. I know it was a great pay-per-view though, guys. I'm telling you, if you don't watch Impact, definitely go check out Slammiversary over here. I always do that with my hands, but whatever. I'm still getting used to it. This is only my second week of straight videos for you guys. Straight week of videos for you guys. But I know we have a lot of fans of Impact in our group here, so I hope you guys check this out. I hope you guys let me know what you thought. Let me know what you thought of the pay-per-view. I know a lot of you guys really liked it. I saw some of your comments in the group. I saw some stuff on Twitter that you guys are sending me, so please keep it coming. I hope you guys liked Impact, but now what we are going to get into, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to get into a little AEW. Coming up, they have a pay-per-view coming up. So what it is right here. It is Fight for the Fallen. So Fight for the Fallen on the latest, which dropped today. The latest being the Elite dropped this morning. I watched it right before I got on here. Just so happened they dropped it right before I was about to go, and I said, let me check this out. So I checked it out. Let me tell you guys, we got another match that was added to Fight for the Fallen. So there's already a card of Ali versus Brandy. There's already Kenny Omega versus Shima. We already have Cody and Dustin taking on the Young Bucks. We found out last week we have a 6-man tag between a weird teaming of Shawn Spears, MJF, and Sammy Guevara against another, I'm just going to call them the hardcore guys because that's what they are, and they're awesome at it. They're just guys that are reckless. They put their body on the line to win. Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela. So that was one we found out last week. But today, we found out SCU, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky will be taking on Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, the Lucha Brothers. So that is a solid tag team matchup because SCU said, if you watch the Being the Elite today, they said there's a lot of talk about the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers being the top tag team in the entire world, and they said, what about us? What about us? Huh? What about us? We're still here. As far as we're concerned, we're still one of the best. So we're going to see that this Saturday, Fight for the Fallen. Check out my preview. It's probably going to come around this weekend. Probably Saturday. I'll probably do the preview for Fight for the Fallen on Saturday. We have a lot going down on Saturday we'll talk about. Another thing that we have going on Saturday is New Japan. And with New Japan, we get the announcement of the Fighting Spirit Unleashed New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're coming to the East Coast. It was announced that night 1 of the G1, as you see right here in this awesome graphic. They will be coming to Boston on September 27th to the Lowell Memorial Auditorium in Lowell, Massachusetts. They will be coming to New York to the Hammerstein Ballroom on Saturday, September 28th, and they will be coming to our city, our beautiful, beautiful city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love, on September 29th, Sunday, to the 2300 Arena, the ECW Arena. ECW, baby. They're coming to the ECW Arena. Tickets, if you're wondering, go on sale July 26th at the end of this month. So in a couple weeks from now, save your money up. I know a lot of people are going all over the place. I'm going on a bachelor party leaving that day with a couple of the guys, and then I'm going to North Carolina, then I'm going to be in at All Out, so I'm going to try to get tickets to the show. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but if you guys are interested, that's the information. Fighting Spirit Unleashed. I know it's going to be pretty cool because I know they're trying to really dig into the East Territory here. They're trying to get their name out there. And you saw with a hell of a Dallas show at the G1 this past weekend, 2 nights ago. If you didn't see, you can go check out my review from yesterday. I did a review of the New Japan Night 1 of the G1 Climax, which was the first ever in the United States. So go check that out if you want. I also have Fighter Fest, Raw recap, SmackDown recap. But now, the last thing on our docket for today, Monday Night Raw. So we have a couple of things happening. We had a pretty good show last week, if you remember. I'll recap real quick. Braun and Lashley went through the screen, the LED screen, blowing that shit up. You had Corey Graves saying, holy shit. We had AJ Styles and Ricochet put on a hell of a match. Ricochet beat him. Ricochet beat AJ Styles. And then AJ and the club would go and beat down. That's right, they would beat down Ricochet. So it was the club back together. They did Too Sweet at the end, and now they all stood over Ricochet. So we will see. That is one of the burning questions that I'm looking forward to tonight out of Monday Night Raw. What else do we have? Last week, we also had Seth and Becky have a little thing. So what we're going to get this week is Seth and Becky taking on Andrade and Zelina. We have Drew and Shane taking on Roman and a mystery partner of his choosing. And then Rey Mysterio will be returning. But I got to go, guys. Please join all of our YouTube. I'm just kidding. I thought someone was coming and calling me, but I think we're good. So I'm going to break that down a little bit more. So we have Seth and Becky taking on Andrade and Zelina Vega. They've been going back and forth on Twitter, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Then Drew and Shane are going to take on Roman and a mystery partner of Roman's choosing. Rey Mysterio will return from injury, as I just said. And the burning question, are the club back together? Will we see Bray Wyatt at all? We haven't seen Bray Wyatt or the Firefly Funhouse in quite some time. We have seen his little minions roaming around. But we'll see. Tonight is Monday Night Raw. You can catch a recap from me tomorrow, and we'll talk then. But other than that, hit like, hit subscribe, go down here, do all these things. Wrestle Cave Podcast on Facebook, Wrestle Cave on Instagram, at @Wrestle_Cave on the Twitter. You can check out all of our videos here. I've been doing a lot. We have Trap. We have our podcast available on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Stitcher. You name it, you buy it, Podbean, podcast, whatever, it's on there. Go check it out. That's all I got for you guys today. That's all I got. But check out all of our videos. Let me know if you like them below. Please hit subscribe or hit like, comment, do something. If you're not going to subscribe, hit like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I'm going to keep it a little bit shorter than the last couple days. I'm going to be under a half hour today. But I got to go do my 38th straight day of DDP yoga or DDPY. So I'm going to get out of here. But you guys have a great night, great day. Share this with your friends. Let me know what you think. Impact Slammiversary review.